Hello everybody, my name is Lior Kleiner. I'm a trainer at the Jewish Community Center, and I'm going to come to you here with some exercises that you can do at home that are easy and don't require any equipment. So the first exercise is called an air squat. It's called an air squat because you're just using your body weight without any implements, no bars or kettlebells or dumbbells. So the first thing we have to do is do some movement-specific stretches for the squat. So the first thing you want to do, if you can, do a little bit of warming up, walk around. If you can, do a light jog. If you have some kind of machinery at home, an elliptical machine, jump on that. If you don't, that's okay. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to get your feet to approximately shoulder width apart, perhaps a little wider, when your toes slightly out, about 15 to 25 degrees, 30 degrees maximum outside of center. First thing I want you to do is keeping your feet as flat as you can. Drop down, get your elbows inside your knees, and drive your knees out as best you can. Count about 10 seconds, then take your fingers, grip under your toes, and extend up as best as you can. If you can't lock your knees, that's all right. And then alternate between the bottom position and the top position, about 10 seconds in each position. I drive my knees out, keeping my feet as flat as possible. Don't let them roll off your heels. Stay flat on your feet with your weight directed through your midfoot. Not too much weight on the front of the foot and not too much weight on the back of the heel. You want it right in the midfoot. It's okay to have your knees forward of your toes as long as they are in line with your toes. So if my toes are pointing about 30 degrees out, my knees are matching that. Everybody has slightly different angle that you have to sort of figure out on your own. So you do 5 times at the bottom, 5 times at the top, at about 10 seconds each. That's the first stretch. Second stretch, I'll do it from the side. Touch your toes, reach down for the ground. If you can keep your knees straight, that's great. If you can't, bend your knees. Walk out into a full push-up position, and then walk all the way back and stand up. Do that 5 times. On the 5th time, you stop in the plank position and then take one leg and shoot it forward to the furthest position, furthest forward you can. From here, you take the elbow on the same side as that leg. So my left leg is in front, my left elbow reaches towards the ground. I reach down as low as I can, and then with that same arm, my left arm, because my left leg's in front, goes all the way up as high as I can. I hang out about 10 seconds at the top and 10 seconds at the bottom. And then I switch sides. Right elbow, all the way down, reach for my right heel, 10 seconds, and then I take that same arm and point it as high as I can for 10 seconds. Once I've done that 5 times on each side, I come all the way up, and that should be pretty sufficient to get me warmed up for the exercise, assuming I did all the correct amount of reps and sets. The only thing you'll need is some kind of dowel. This is about 6 feet of PVC pipe. If you don't have that, a broomstick will be fine. And you need this to help you learn the movement properly. So the movement is an air squat, and it looks like this. Keeping my feet completely flat on the floor, I drop my weight, my hips, down below parallel. What parallel means is my femur has to go and become lower than parallel to the floor. If I stop here, where there's still this downward angle on my leg, I have not gone to the bottom of the squat. I have to drop below parallel while maintaining a flat foot and a straight back. And that's what we're going to use the dowel for, to illustrate what a straight back looks like in a squat position. The dowel represents my spine in its neutral posture. As I drop down into the squat, notice that my back, from my tailbone all the way up to my neck, does not deviate as I squat. So there's none of this. I don't flex or hyperextend my back beyond its neutral position. So as I squat, my back stays from tailbone to neck in that perfect position. A lot of times what you see people do in the squat is they get down and they look up. And that throws your balance off, as well as putting pressure unevenly on your spine. The minute I look up, I can't stay down on my heels properly. So, using a broomstick, or if you're lucky enough to have 6 feet of PVC pipe in your house that you're not using to flush with, I don't see why you would, drive downwards, maintaining a straight back, and come right back up, dropping the crease of your hip below the horizontal plane of your knee. So the crease of your hip, also known as the inguinal fold, drops down to below the horizontal plane of your knee, and your femur is just slightly pointed downwards under parallel. Notice that my feet are flat. I don't come down on the balls of my feet, and I don't hang out on my heels because that breaks my posture. I come right back up. That's the air squat. If you're finding it difficult to drop that low, start as best as you can, the deepest squat you can without breaking those rules, without allowing your foot to come out into the heel or into the toe, and without bending your back. So if this is all you can do, that's fine. Just note that the full squat position is all the way down. And when you come up, make sure you're not doing this. Big mistake. People look up because they think I'm going up, so I got to look up. But that completely makes your ability to drive your hips up, throws your balance off because it shoots your hips forward. So make sure that your head stays in that neutral position the whole time, and your knees are tracking in the same direction of your toes. So I've got my toes about 25 or 30 degrees off center, and my knees follow that. Everybody's a little different. Some people can do it with their toes in straight line, parallel to each other. Some people need to turn as much as 30 or 40 degrees out. It has to do with hip mobility. It's a different conversation. But just make sure your toes and your knees are following approximately the same path. Don't be afraid to play with it. So that's your squat. The second exercise we're going to do is a burpee. And I'll show you how to do a regular burpee and then a modified burpee if you find the regular burpee too difficult. So a burpee is basically this. I drop my hands to the floor, I kick my legs back, I lower myself to the floor. I'm not doing a push-up, I'm just lowering in a controlled manner. I come back up, I pull myself up, I shoot my legs forward to my feet where they're just in front behind my hands, and I land on flat-footed. I don't want to land on my toes. I land flat-footed, and then I stand up, and I jump. That's one burpee. Several mistakes people make is it's always on the way up. They come down, and then as they're coming up, they're sneaking their body up like this. Puts a ton of stress on your lower back. So when you're pushing yourself back up, make sure you're coming up with a straight back. Now, if you're strong enough to do a full push-up, go for it. If you can't do a full push-up, come up with your knees on the floor. Knees on the floor and toes on the floor, I'm doing the same thing. I'm keeping my back straight. I'm avoiding the snaking position. Doing that rep after rep can start to hurt. So however you come up, whether it's on your feet or on your knees, make sure that your back is straight. It's not snaking. And then when you kick your feet forward, make sure you land flat-footed. Not on the balls of your feet, but flat-footed, and then you give it a jump. Now, if you're struggling to go all the way to the floor and jump up, it's hard. Get a chair or a bench, anything stable that you can put your hands on as you do the burpee. This is how you scale down, going all the way to the floor. This is one of these plyo boxes that's different heights and different directions. They have something similar down in the turf area at the Jewish Community Center, where you turn it, it's a different height. So right now it's set on the 24-inch side. And the way I do it is, instead of going all the way to the floor, I just do the same movement, all the same rules. I don't want to snake my back. I don't want to land on the balls of my feet. I want to land flat foot. I tap my chest to the box, and I jump up. It's a great way to scale it down. And the lower I go, the harder it is. So now it's on the 20-inch side, and I can do the same movement. I could also go something really high. If I'm finding this particularly challenging and I can't do very many, then just find something really tall to do your movement on. But it's the same movement, just scaled down in a way that anybody at any fitness level could do. So we have two movements. We have burpees and we have squats. And the way to organize this into a workout, so I've given you exercise, and now I'm going to show you how to organize this into a workout. So we have burpees, and we have squats. Somebody once told me that a better name for burpees is pukies, but I think the marketing people probably would nix that. So we've got burpees and squats. So we're going to do, there's two ways to organize a workout. You could do a time-dependent workout or a work-dependent workout. We're going to do a work-dependent, meaning that we're just going to get a bunch of sets and reps, and we're going to do them and take it as long as it takes you to do it. We're going to do it. Time-dependent is where you set a clock and you work against that clock. But for now, we're going to do a work-dependent. It's a little simpler. So first we're going to do squats. We're going to do 20 squats, 10 burpees for times 5 rounds. And then I'm going to show you how to scale this. So what this means, 20 squats, 10 burpees, 5 rounds. What this means is I do a set of 20 squats. I stand all the way up. Something I neglected to say earlier, make sure you stand all the way up every time. I do 20 squats. Once I get my 20 squats, I can do my 20 burpees. I'll do it scaled. And all scaled means is I'm increasing or decreasing the intensity of the movement based on my fitness level. So if somebody was very heavy or hadn't exercised in a long time, I wouldn't necessarily ask them to drop all the way down and jump all the way up. So you do that 20 times for the squats, 10 times for the burpees. Take a short break, try to keep it under a minute. If you can, don't take a break at all. Go right back to squats. And you do that 20 times. 20 times squats, 10 times burpees. Now, you can modify these numbers. These numbers are all sort of arbitrary. I'm just throwing numbers out there. You could do 40 squats and 20 burpees. You can do 100 squats and 100 burpees. You could do 5 squats and 5 burpees. You could do it for 5 rounds or 3 rounds. It's up to you. I would always, of course, being a sadistic trainer, always want you to do more with higher reps and more rounds. But I'm not there, so you can do whatever you want. But this is an example of a work dependent, and it's work dependent because you've picked a certain amount of work and you're doing it for a certain amount of rounds and you're done when you're done. A time dependent, if you're still at home and you're bored, and they have us locked up for another 30 days or whatever, you could do a time dependent workout, which is, let's say, I'm going to do as many squats and burpees for 10 minutes. Just set 10 minutes on your timer on your phone and say, I'm going to do squats and burpees for, instead of rounds, for 10 minutes. And you just go back and forth between your squats and your burpees for 10 minutes until you can't do it anymore, or until the time runs down. And again, you can break this down in any way you want. You could do 5 squats and 5 burpees, 5 squats and 1 burpee, and just do that. And you can scale it down however, whatever your abilities allow you to, or scale it up however your abilities allow you to. So that's the workout right there. You can take a look at it. We got burpees, we got squats. We did 20 squats, we did 10 burpees, and we did 5 rounds. That writing doesn't help. 5 rounds, or you could do it for a certain amount of time. I wrote 10 minutes. You could do it for 5 minutes. You could do it for a half hour. Depends how long the commercial breaks are on whatever TV show you're watching. So burpees, squats, 20 squats, 10 burpees, times 5 rounds or 10 minutes. Start with that. scale it down, and I hope to hear from you guys soon, and I hope that they open the gym and you can come and ask me questions. My name's Lior, and I hope to talk to you guys soon. Bye.